Women's 1500 metre final, the 4 fastest Australians of all time are there, and Jess actually missed the start in a racing parlance. She went back and she was quite happy to do that. So that's the first slight surprise in the first 100 metres. Hall pushing up on the inside, and Hull 4 from the back at the moment. Billings up into 3rd place, and Georgia Griffith in the middle of the field at the back.
And you can get rid of that bit of paper that's got the 4:02
It's so
times on
slow.
it, Bruce, because they are strolling at the moment.
And that's a surprise.
Yeah, it is a surprise. I wonder if that was influenced by the fact that Jess didn't quite begin maybe as she wanted. Maybe she was happy just to sit back there. We do know that she likes to be in clean running. As you can see, she's about 5 back on the outside. A good spot to be. It's a bit congested, but they are strolling as they come down through the first 300 metres.
So some of the outsiders, so to speak, Madden, Des and Whincup up the front at the moment. Billings the first of the favourites. And behind her, Hancock-Cameron, and then Griffith and Hull and Hall. So this is a big surprise. They're dawdling for this class of athlete. Remember that the 4 fastest we've ever had are out there. So this first split is oh so slow here. They're running at about 4:30 pace. So they are going oh so slowly. And now Georgia Griffith starts to make a bit of a move on the back of Georgia Whincup, and Jess Hull now for the first time starts to assert herself as well. So it's Whincup leading from Griffith. Inside Des, who had a personal best in the heat. Outside of her, Hull. Behind her, the 6 Billings, and then the 1 Hall, the 3-time Olympian, and then behind her 11 Hancock-Cameron, and then behind her the 8 Madden. So that's the scene here as they enter the straight, and it's still pretty slow.
Well, if it was going to be fast, it was fascinating. It's even more fascinating when it's slow, because how long do they hold their nerve for here? You can see Jess was moving up. She wanted to be in a good position. Lyndon did a really good job as they went down the back straight, as she saw that the pace just increased a fraction, so she got out of the pocket. And going back to Billings is on the inside there.
So through with 800 to go. And the thing for Hull that's going to give her some confidence, Dave, is that 158 in Jamaica off a slower speed. That she got inside 2 minutes last year before the Olympics. I think it made a big difference to her confidence. And then, of course, we know what happened after that. So Whincup leading here. She's been a good steeplechaser. Her personal best is 4:11. So, you know, she's going to be struggling to keep up when the pressure comes on, we know, but she's making the running, and that's the right thing for her to do at this pace. Griffith in a good spot. Hull on the back of Griffith. Griffith was on the back of Hull, wasn't she, in the heat? Billings in the mix. Hall's got Hull in her sights. They've been together for so long now, haven't they?
Yeah, and Lyndon will be just trying to stick there for as long as she possibly can. Someone's going to have to make a move here as Georgia gets to the front. A little bit of elbowing, little argy-bargy as they came around the top turn.
So the big 4, Dave, the big 4 across the track here, the 4 fastest Australians of all time. And Hull now at the bell makes the move. So it's Hull, Griffith and Hall, and then Billings moves up into 4th place. 1 lap to go in the final of the 1500, and the Olympic silver medalist makes the run, the long run for home.
Well, it is a long run for home. If you're going to go, you go hard, and that's what she's done here. She hasn't been able to burn them all off, though. So as they go down the back straight, beautiful form for all of them. But this is going to be a long drag with 2:50 to go for the national title.
Georgia will think she can run Jess down here, and Sarah gives herself a chance, and Lyndon's off the back. 200 to go. Hull leads by a stride and a half from Griffith and a stride and a half from Billings. 150 to go. The Olympic silver medalist. Now Billings gets up to Griffith. Hull, she can look at them and see that Billings is about a stride behind her. 80 to go. Hull stretching, not away from Billings though. Billings almost getting to her shoulder. Hull though is clear. She's a metre in front, and Jess is hanging on. Sarah's not going to get her, and Jess Hull wins again. Another national championship. Billings was magnificent, and then Griffith and the gap into Hall. What a last lap that was. Fantastic running. It was 57 low the last lap.
What a great race. And it's been one of the hallmarks for the last 2 or 3 seasons of our middle distance athletes in the men and the women, but particularly in the women. They front up and race each other every time there's a meet. There's a gun goes off and they're on the start line. And what a dash it was from Jess Hull. She went about 430 metres from the finish. She had to hang on. I thought Billings was a big chance for a moment. Georgia hung on as best she could, but what a run. from Jess, but Sarah Billings is the one that's taken my fancy there. Courageous, great to see her back at that level. We know what Jess is capable of, and that's what it means to both of them.